At the dawn of the 20th century, the field of psychology witnessed the emergence of the German Gestalt school, which focused on interpreting perceptual phenomena, emphasizing that humans perceive things as whole units rather than as a collection of separate parts. The term Gestalt itself means the whole or the overall shape, and in light of this, several laws were developed to explain the mechanisms of visual perception in an individual's daily life. Law of Similarity. This law states that elements that are similar in terms of color, shape, or size are perceived as belonging to a single group. For example, if you see a sink made up of squares, some black and others white arranged alternately, the mind will perceive rows of color rather than separate squares. Law of Proximity. According to this law, elements that are close to each other tend to be perceived as a single unit. When several points are placed at a close distance within a large area, our mind will group them together as a homogeneous unit, much like perceiving separate words in written text, even if the letters themselves are spaced apart in other words. Law of Closure. The human mind tends to complete incomplete shapes and imagine the invisible parts to give a complete and integrated form. For instance, when we see an incomplete circle or a triangle with missing edges in a drawing, we mentally complete them to see the shapes as whole. Law of Continuity. Humans prefer to perceive simple, continuous lines rather than broken or jagged shapes. For example, if two or more lines intertwine before our eyes, we are likely to follow them as consecutive lines, rather than as separate, disjointed parts. Law of Common Fate. Objects that move in the same direction or exhibit the same motion are perceived as an integrated unit. For example, flocks of flying birds. If all the birds move together in one direction, we perceive them as a single body rather than as scattered birds. These laws do not operate independently of one another. Rather, they often work together to explain everyday perceptual phenomena. The significance of Gestalt laws lies in their fundamental role across various fields, such as graphic design, architecture, and even in understanding how artificial intelligence mechanisms work in image analysis. The Gestalt school remains one of the key milestones in mapping the study of human perception, as it highlighted the human ability to find order and meaning amidst apparent chaos.